Breaking news here on Martyn at Lucas Investor. Let's talk about NVIDIA, ticker symbol NVDA.
Jason Davis donated $10 through a super chat. Thanks for your thoughts on my question so promptly. I had 6 shares of NVIDIA pre-split and thought I might sell and buy it back at a lower price.
Of course, it's had its 10-to-1 split. It had it last night, at midnight last night. It occurred. And what does it mean for the stock? So don't be alarmed that your stock isn't down 90% today. It's had a 10-to-1 split. Now, what does this mean? Is it good for the stock? Is it bad? And how does it affect the S&P? This is a question just been asked by one of our members, so he gets a video. With the NVIDIA split, how much do you think it will affect the S&P 500? Right, well, let's first of all talk about it. There are 2 kinds of splits for a stock. There is a forward split, which is what this is. It's generally regarded as positive. And then there's a reverse split, which is a stock that's not doing very well, and it's regarded as very negative. So what does it actually mean? When a company decides to split a stock, they're doing one of 2 things. If they're doing a forward split, they're making the stock appear cheaper. It's not cheaper. It's just for every, in this case, for everyone, you now get 10. There are 10 times as many shares, but it's exactly the same market cap. It's exactly the same value overall. You're not getting any free shares. You're not getting any benefit to this whatsoever. You're exactly where you were before. You've now got 10 where before you had 1, and they're all worth a tenth of the price. So what's the point? Now, a company can do a forward split for whatever number they want. They might do 2 for 1, 100 for 1. It's up to them what they want to do. It doesn't really make much difference, and let me explain. A forward split is because a company has done very, very well. The stock has got too large, and they want to make it more accessible to others. So first of all, not everyone has the ability to do fractional sharing. Fractional sharing is when you buy a dollar amount, a currency amount of a stock. In other words, $10 of NVIDIA. Not every brokerage around the world allows that. Okay, we have the privilege of having that on Robinhood, is what I use, but a lot of people don't have the benefit of being able to fractional share. They can't just buy $10 of a stock, all right? And that obviously suits a lot of people who don't have the budget for a $1,200 stock, which is what this was before the split. So there's one reason. It gives accessibility to others that would like to own a piece of NVIDIA. That's the first reason. The second reason, and probably the most important reason, is because of options trading. If you want an options contract on NVIDIA, before it would have cost you $120,000, not literally because of the way that options work, but you have to have 100 shares of a stock for an option contract, okay? So now it's a tenth of the price. So it's a lot cheaper for people to enter into options trading and buy 100 shares, which is what a contract is of a single stock. So that's the main reason. And another thing is it can also appear, and even though it's not, this is not the intention, it can appear to be cheaper. I know this sounds ridiculous and a bit sort of patronizing to new investors, but a lot of people don't look at the balance sheets, don't read the numbers, and they're not interested in the fundamentals. The sort of people that buy GameStop, for example, and stuff like that, they don't really care about all those things. They should, but they don't, and that's their choice. But this now makes the stock seem cheaper. It gives the retail investor the opportunity to buy something that perhaps was out of their reach before. Whether they had fractional sharing or not, it now just seems cheaper. It's not, but it seems so. Right, that's forward split. We'll talk about where the stock's going to go in a minute. What about a reverse split? A reverse is the other way round. So when a company is not doing very well at all, it needs to raise its stock price to keep it on the index. It has to be above $1 over a certain period of time, and there's other terms and conditions. They have to reverse split to save the company, to get the stock price up. There are not more shares now, there are less shares now. It's exactly the same. You end up owning, ultimately you'll come down to one share, and the company will just be worth $10, and there's one share and one person owns it. All right, that's the very opposite of what a forward split is, what NVIDIA have done today. Okay, that's regarded as a negative, and very rarely does a company come back from a reverse split. Now then, what does it actually mean for the stock price today, and what does it actually mean for the S&P today? Because the S&P, a big part of the S&P is NVIDIA. Thank you, Nicholas, for your subscription. What is NVIDIA? What is this going to do today for the stock, and what is it going to do for the S&P? Now, honestly, nobody actually knows, but we've got history, we've got evidence and statistics to go on, and that's all we can go on. Doesn't mean to say that what I'm about to say is going to happen. Most of you will disagree with me, but that's fine. No one knows what's going to happen with stocks. It doesn't matter what you do. Nobody knows, and the stock doesn't know you own it, so it doesn't care what you think either. But the likelihood is this: it's down today so far, which is expected. The reason why it's down, and we've been getting the stock pretty much up every single day for the last few weeks. It's down today because when you have a forward split, it's a good thing for the stock. It'll allow more people to come in, which means people trim off the top and reduce their positions. It's very often like, well, why did a stock go down when there's good news? People never understand that. They think a stock should go up when there's good news. No, it should go down when there's good news, because now investors, and I mean investors, not gamblers, and they are the biggest portion of this stock, investors know that the company has just got better, it's got more attractive, so it's going to go up, so they can trim off the top. Big institutions, big whales can drive the stock down a little bit, knowing they can buy it back and do it again. That's how traders on Wall Street make money. That's how real investors work. So a good stock that's got good news can go down on good news because you're trimming and then buying back. It's just the way the markets work. It's the opposite of what you think, opposite of what your emotions think is always the right way. And the right way is the stock can trim off today because this is more likely to get more investment from retail, more investment from people who can't fractional trade, and more investment from people that want to options trade. And this is a positive all across the board. So we trim off a little bit. I think it could even drop as much as 5% today. So down it goes, people buy it back, and then it'll be up again. So there's my thought on the direct price of the stock. Now, how will it affect the S&P? The S&P is a large part of the S&P is actually NVIDIA. It's I think it's second stock. If we look here, this is the S&P. Microsoft at the top, look, 6.8%. Apple 5.84, and Nvidia, look, 5% of the S&P. Nvidia is 5% of the S&P. So what does that mean? Well, obviously, if the stock price goes down by 5%, the S&P could go down as well, but not by 5% though. But what it also means though, if Nvidia is going down today, it's not anything to do with the company. The company aren't all of a sudden not selling chips and everything else. That's not what's happening. It's a trim off, and you can see it happening right now, as I predicted, exactly as I said. So it's going to go down a little bit, maybe as low as 5%. It allows those of you to buy it who want to get in. That's the real purpose of all of this. The S&P will go down with it. But remember, there are many other businesses that aren't affected today by this news. It doesn't, and institutions and investment groups and pension funds, they know what's going to happen. So again, good news means bad news in a way. It gives the opportunity to sell off the general market to be able to buy back the general market, even though there's absolutely nothing wrong with the rest of the market. They're not doing anything wrong. Nothing's changed. They know that the overall market will go down, and the S&P could be traded today on the way down and then bought back. So there is my thoughts today. What a forward split is, what a reverse split is, and what is going to happen with NVIDIA. And so far, it appears I'm right. However, AI is still very sexy and rock and roll and overbought. People keep overbuying the stock, just like Tesla. It's a good company, but there's now getting resistance. Amazon and Microsoft are thinking, hang on a minute, we're overpaying for these chips. And they are. Chips that should be about $7.5 grand, they're currently paying $35,000 for. So the stock is very, very expensive. The chips are very expensive. And the competition can smell an opportunity, and they're not going to get away with it forever. So don't think that NVIDIA can run and run forever and dominate the markets forever. It can't. It has to trim off. It is too expensive. So that's my thoughts on NVIDIA today. That's where I think it's going. That was a video reply to Jason Davis. I hope that helps. So if that did, please do click the subscribe button. And consider liking this video and sharing it. If you are a member and you comment below this video, I will reply back to everyone's comments. I always do. And on members' days, I'll make videos like this in reply to you. All right, click above my head for more information. You'll find my alpha spread link, martynlucas.com, where I do all my reviews. You can get free stock analysis there. I believe it's the best software on the internet right now. My members get it for free, or you can get a premium plan, which will basically make my membership for free with the discount that you get. Down below in the description, you'll also find the link and other playlists pinned to the top of the comments and pinned to the top of the description. And over here, I'll put a couple of playlists that I think you'll find useful. I think over here, I will put the NVIDIA playlist, all information to do with NVIDIA, so you can get more information on earnings and reports and stuff like that. And down here, I will put my alpha spread review, where I've reviewed nearly 200 stocks, and it gets updated with the latest reviews as I bring them out. There you go. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.